The impact of the census data might be felt across the state over the next decade, both in federal funding and in federal representation. 9 on your side's Rogelio Maras breaks down how that could affect you.
It is a bit of a disappointment to know that we're in a growing state, but with no growing potential support.
The mood after census data was released left some organizers in the state hoping for more in several aspects. More federal funding, which might just stay the same, more members of Congress, which didn't happen, even more people, which, as U of A government professor Barbara Norander explained, was kind of the case.
It doesn't mean that population Arizona isn't growing. It is growing. It just didn't grow as fast as was expected.
She says it's been over a half century since Arizona didn't grow enough for the census.
Probably in the 1950s or the 1960s.
So what does it mean for the state? Professor Norander says no new funding from Washington.
Yeah, there are actually over 300 federal programs where the funding that goes to the state or the local government is based on the population in the census. Health programs such as Medicaid, transportation money for construction of roads.
Lydia Aranda with Chicanos por la Causa says communities in southern Arizona could feel that pinch if they haven't already.
From schools to wellness programs to sports and activities. And if there's no funding or no new funding, we are already stretching the dollars as far as they can go.
The census data, she says, could impact schools and small businesses in rural areas of the state.
Particularly things like connectivity.
It was a very tough year to organize during the census.
Ana Karina Rodriguez helped organize census workers for the National Association of Latino Elected and Appointed Officials. Her and other organizers say the pandemic presented a new challenge to an already difficult task of educating communities about the census.
It was a lot of hard work, a lot of days that we didn't get any chance to go home till late.
Justin Lloyd spent last year working to get African American communities involved in the census process.
We had a deadline that got changed numerous times.
We knew that so many communities were going to be left out of the count.
The very same communities Rodriguez says she's afraid will be left out this next decade.
Immigrant community, the Latino community, our Black community, our Indigenous community.
Rogelio Maras, KGUN 9 on your side.